Everyone meet Bernie, our little puppy friend for the video. Our friends, we were watching him for our friends for a few days, and I got to borrow him for some video content, which is amazing. So in this video, we're jumping right in. I'm going to teach you how I like to teach a puppy to drop it whenever we're playing tug. So you saw it right there. We tug, 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 tug. Puppy is interested, and then the moment I want the puppy to spit the tug toy out is when I bring it close into my body and hold it really, really still. The moment the puppy releases the toy, I immediately cue good and get it. I like to teach puppies that get it means the same or the opposite, the exact opposite is drop it. You're allowed to get the toy again. So essentially making the toy go dead and just holding it really still. It's no longer fun at that point, and the moment the puppy spits the toy out is the moment they gain it back. Now for Bernie here, we also added in a sit. It's something that he was offering naturally. Whenever he let go of the toy, he's working on sit a ton in a lot of the rest of his life. So he was adding that in, so we decided to kind of build on that as well. So when I cue drop it, I want him to spit the toy out and offer a sit, and that's actually how he gains the toy back. I think a lot of times whenever we cue our dogs to drop it, that's actually when the game ends for them, which then leads to not a very good drop it cue. If we instead teach our dogs that drop it just means you get the toy right back, that's super helpful. So here's the beginnings of that concept. This was the first day that we were actually practicing this with him. He's tugging on his own, having a great time. He's naturally going to spit it out on his own here in a second, and we're going to basically kind of remove the toy for a moment and teach him the sit concept of it. So whenever the toy is with us, we want you to, instead of jumping at us to bite at it and try to get it back, actually if you sit, that works really well. So that's the first piece that we were working on teaching him, and then the actual drop it piece. So we're bringing the toy in, holding it pretty close as we can to our bodies here, and just waiting the puppy out. We're no longer like freely tugging anymore. We're just kind of waiting, making the game boring until the puppy loosens his grip and then spits it out. And then again, we're kind of working on that sit. So we bring him in close, ask him to sit, and that's how he earns the toy back. That's this entire concept over and over and over and over again. And I think the next piece of this video is a little bit dizzying. Yeah, sorry about this, but real life application. I got him all excited about the toy, and then he's jumping for it. I ask him to sit, and that's how he gets the toy. A lot of puppies, as soon as you take the tug toy away, will want to jump up and snatch it out of your hands again. I really like to discourage that and instead try to teach the puppy, if you just sit, that's actually how you earn the toy back. So here we're at the park, and I'm going to walk you through our learning process at the park here. He's also a little puppy, so the first 5 or 10 minutes were spent exploring the park and allowing him to sniff and check everything out. I definitely did not just show up and pull the tug toy out of my pocket and have him tugging like this right off the bat. This took about 15 minutes to get him actually interested in the toy. And you're going to see moments throughout the video when he gets distracted and he wants to look away, like right there. And I'm kind of trying to re-engage him in the toy, but ultimately if he gets distracted, that's okay. I'm going to let him get distracted. He's a puppy, and I'm going to make a huge deal about it if he focuses on me again, but I'm also going to allow him to take in his surroundings. That's really important for his development, for his growth, all of that kind of stuff. So it's not a situation where I'm going to force him to play tug with me. He can explore if he wants to explore, and we've already explored the whole park, but I'm also trying to kind of work on, hey, in a distracting type of environment, can you focus on me and play a game like tug, which can be really challenging for a lot of puppies initially. So I up my excitement level here. I start moving around with the toy. He kind of tumbles there. And that's ultimately what gained his interest. And then I had him for the next 10 minutes of playing tug, which was awesome. So get into it. If your dog is not super excited, get into it. Let them get distracted. Let them check things out. And the moment they refocus on you again is the moment you get all engaged and excited again with them. So we can teach them it's actually worth it to pay attention to me in this distracting environment. So I just wanted to throw those few notes in. Next, I'm going to show you working on actual tug in the park here. So I'll show you guys that. Yeah. Drop it. Get it. I'm following. Drop it. Get it. Good boy. Well done. Well done. So even though we had practiced the sit concept, we had practiced the drop it concept with the cue added in, we had practiced all components of this at home at my house first, this is a new environment, so I started easy again. So I went back to bringing the toy in really close and just waiting him out, and then not adding the sit in right away, but letting him just earn the toy back. I let him win a ton initially early on just to rebuild those beginning concepts back up, letting him get distracted, waiting him out, and there he actually offered the sit. So once he started saying, hey, I can do this, I started to kind of require more of him if I felt like he could. It definitely was not a requirement at this stage, so to speak. That's not the best word for it, but seeing what he can do. So here he gets distracted a lot whenever he lets go of the tug, which is super, super natural. So I'm waiting for him to actually tell me he's ready. So I'm waiting, and then we had worked on the sit so much that he understood the moment he sat was also the moment he was going to earn the tug toy back. So I started to use that as essentially like a start button behavior for him, allow him to look around all he wants. He got to win a bunch, and if he would get distracted, I started to just wait until he would engage with me again and sit, and that told me he was ready to actually play the game again.
Good boy! Good boy!
Now there I made it harder for him. Instead of bringing the toy in close, which is the cue that he understands more so than the drop it cue at this point, I left the toy hanging out more. So as we kind of continued, I would cue a drop it but not bring the toy in close and just hold it as still as I could out away from my body and see if he could spit it out. So like right here, I stopped being engaging with it. It's hard for him though, and not just him, but any puppy or any dog. And if he was struggling with this, gradually you saw my hand, I brought it back in closer. He gets distracted again, normal, like we kind of talked about, but the farther out that you hold the toy from your body, the harder it's going to be for your dog, because they can still actively tug with it in that sense. So if you're trying to advance with it, which is exactly what the next advancement of this would be, is instead of bringing the toy in close, seeing if one, your dog can spit the toy out on the drop it cue, or two, you still just hold that toy out for them to freely tug with, and we're still looking for them to spit it out. This is only 2 days into this puppy learning this, with a little bit of foundation prior to, so he did really well. But that's how you advance with this one. And if your dog is struggling with it, like he kind of was a second ago, I just bring that toy back in again, and he's going to spit it out just fine.
Good job! Get it. Drop it. Good, get it. Go!
At the end of this video, when you're ready to end the game, ask your puppy to drop it and then trade them for some treats scattered in the grass instead of them getting the toy back. So the game ends with them still getting something, but then you can pocket the toy. You'll see that here in a second. Let me know if you have any questions about this, and 2 paws up for Bernie. He did awesome in this video, and we'll see you guys in a next one.
Well done. Well done.